Angel Grove Radio.
Ladies and gentlemen, welcome to the Angel Grove Radio podcast. My name is Jimmy, and I'm joined by the lovely...
Oh, I'm so sorry. This is the first time I do this.
It's okay. It's okay, baby.
I'm Steven.
Steven, and we have our lovely producer. You could probably see the side of his head, Zorjan. He's on the boards right now. So this is episode 0. So it's not technically the first episode, but it's episode 0. What does that mean? You know when a comic comes out, there's like a pre-story to the first issue? That's what this is.
Yeah.
So we're going to go over who we are, what we do, what you can expect from us, and after that, you know, what you else could do. So we are Angel Grove Radio. This is a podcast, in case you weren't paying attention. It's not a radio station, but maybe we can be one day. We're located in lovely Angel Grove, California, aka John's house. So I'm Jimmy, like I said before. I'm a graphic designer. I work in an office. I love Power Rangers. I like long walks on the beach, and I like not getting attacked by monsters. What about you, Steven?
I'm Steven. I am I'm a photographer. Also go by Solava Photography. I'm a full-time worker, and I do stuff like this
Power Ranger
on my free time.
Whenever we have free time,
Whenever
like
we have
two
free time.
minutes a day where we get free time. So Steven, I know you asked, when can we expect new episodes, right? The goal is bi-weekly. So every other week to have an episode for you. So this is going to be the first episode after this, and then after that you can expect bi-weekly. The exact schedule, we're not too sure.
To be determined.
But just follow us, and you'll get the episodes when you get them. Zordon, he'll send you the emergency call, and you'll know to that's your call to action to come in and join us for about an hour or so of awesome, wholesome, good family fun.
An
hour-ish. We'll see. We'll see how we're feeling that day. We'll see, how much we have to talk about.
I'm pretty sure we won't have listeners listening to a complete hour.
I will listen.
I
love listening to myself.
Okay. All right.
Okay, so Steven,
all right, going back to this whole thing, like, I could see myself listening to an hour of
so that's
listening to an hour.
Look, as long as me and you are listening, that's all we care about. Okay,
that's fine.
If we make the podcast, the people will listen. Is that the quote from what is Angels in the Outfield? If you build it, they will come. So where can you listen? Where can you watch? For sure, YouTube, which is, if you're watching this, it's probably on YouTube. And the plan is to put it on every streaming platform. So we're thinking iTunes, we're thinking Spotify, we're thinking Anchor, we're thinking MySpace Music. It'll be on there. All right. So, but why? Why are we doing this, Steven?
Because we love Power Rangers.
We love Power Rangers.
We love
Tokusatsu.
Super Sentai,
Kamen
Rider.
We love talking about it too.
I'll even watch Ultraman.
Because look, let's face it, we're going to talk about Power Rangers anyway. Might as well get a show out of it. So let's just, that's the why.
I mean, how many conversations have we had in the past, and we don't record them?
So we went to Comic-Con last year, and we drove there, and that's all we talked about was Power Rangers for two almost 3 hours because of traffic. And we talked about Power Rangers the entire time there. We talked Power Rangers the entire time back, and you know how many podcast episodes that could have been? A lot. Maybe not as many as we think, because we repeated the same subject over and over again. But hey, it would have been cool.
Good arguments hold out.
Great arguments, exactly. Okay, so Steven,
Jimmy.
I want to know your Power Ranger story. I want to know how you got into the fandom. I want to know why you're still in the fandom.
Oh, that's a tough question.
I know it's a tough question.
Well,
I'll tell you my story if you tell me yours.
It only works that way.
Yeah.
Well, how did I get into it? Well, I mean, I am a 90s kid, so I did grow up watching Power Rangers. Didn't start with Mighty Morphin, but I think the oldest one I've remembered was Little Bit of In Space.
Okay.
and then of course reruns of Mighty Morphin. But like the one season that I did like remember like out of the top of my head was Lightspeed Rescue.
Lightspeed Rescue is
Yes.
awesome.
And then I went to all the way to Wild Force, and then I kind of dropped the ball there, and I was like, oh well, it's not gonna go any longer.
It'll be canceled any day now.
Yeah, it'll be canceled. Whatever's. And then I suddenly came back at SPD.
Okay, SPD is a good one to come back to.
Yeah. And
Future Space Cops.
ever since then, I've just watched Power Rangers. You know.
Yeah.
So
for me, I had a very similar experience, 90s kid, except for I was 3 when Power Rangers debuted. I had just turned 3.
Fun.
I remember watching the first episode.
Yeah.
At 3. I don't remember fractions. I don't remember multiplication tables. I don't remember what I had for dinner last night. But I remember watching the first episode of Power Rangers and at my babysitter's house, and I've been in love ever since. So I started at MMPR, and I remember rushing home and watching Space. I had the Megazord. I remember being really upset because I wasn't the Blue Turbo Ranger. Why does that bullheaded kid get to be the Blue Ranger when I was also a bullheaded kid?
Figured.
And I have a story about I was at the mall and I was offered an audition for Power Rangers before Turbo, but my aunt was like, "There's no way they're gonna have a little kid be a Power Ranger." And like a year later, they had a little kid be a Power Ranger. I wouldn't have got it. I was too little for it. But in some like alternate timeline, I would have been, the Blue Turbo Ranger, and blue was my favorite color. So that's my story. Wow, and why am I in the fandom? How So actually, no. What has kept you into the fandom?
That's a great.
Do you want to think about it while I give you my answer?
Yeah.
So, the toys. I have an addictive personality, and I was at the store one day and I saw a toy. It was a Megaforce. That's what brought me in. Super Megaforce. I'm sorry. I saw Ranger keys, and I was like, I remember this season. So I picked up a set of Ranger keys, and then I went back to the store and bought more because, again, I have this addictive personality. I had to have them all. And then I realized, Power Rangers is still running. I went on Hulu. I looked it up because at the time they were doing episodes the next day, and I started watching Super Megaforce, being really disappointed that it wasn't all that great. But that kind of brought me back in since I went back and I rewatched all the seasons that I watched, and then I did fall off at a point. You said yours was Wild Force. I fell off around the same time.
Okay.
But I had a little brother who kept watching it. Yeah. So I didn't completely fall off until he fell off. So I would still watch it with him because it's this cool thing. And then he got too old for it. And then I just stopped watching it because I didn't know when it aired. I didn't know what time it aired. I thought it was too cool for it. Turns out I'm not too cool for it because I'm still in it. So that brought me back in. And what's kept me around is the people I've met, like you. I've met some really awesome people. Justin Keyson, a good friend of ours, fellow podcaster. I've met Jason from Quest of Geek through Power Rangers. And as a result, I met John because John's connected to them as well. So, I've met Danny from We the Geeks of East L.A., one of my best friends now. I've gotten really great opportunities as a result, and that's what's kept me into the fandom. So I'm going to ask... actually, no, you tell me your falling off story.
I mean, honestly, as you were saying, it just everything would just click to me. Yeah. It's pretty much the same thing. Just the fans and all the friends that I met along the way. I used to just go to conventions by myself.
Yeah. I used to do VidCon by myself. That was a nightmare.
Whoa.
Yeah.
Different subject. But yeah, I would go to conventions by myself. When I was dating my previous girlfriend. Oh, I shouldn't even say my previous because I don't have one now.
But here's the thing, guys. You could like Power Rangers and still be in relationships. Or maybe Power Rangers ended your relationship.
No. No, thank God. But, if it was a make or break, I'd been like, all right, dude, just peace out.
If you don't like
if
me
you
at
don't
my
like,
worst, you don't
yeah,
deserve me at my
exactly.
best. I dig it.
No, but I would drag her to conventions with me, and she'd be like, "All right, where's the Batman stuff? Like, where's DC stuff?"
She would be happy to know that Power Rangers have crossed over with Justice
No,
League.
I know.
So
Yeah, but
where was
she's
that back then? Where you guys
yeah,
could have bonded over that?
yeah, but whatever's. So yeah, I would go alone. I would go with my significant other, um,
And now you go with me.
and then after that, like, that relationship ended. I would start going back alone, and then I met my buddy Edwin.
I love Edwin.
Edwin's the greatest.
He's okay.
And then we kind of clicked with Common Writer.
Oh, Kamen Rider's great.
Yeah,
Tuning next time, Kamen Rider Radio. No, I'm kidding.
Common Writer Radio.
But no, that's a great show.
But yeah, like we would like kind of bond over Kamen Rider, and then apparently he would go to cons that I would go to, so we would just end up going together. That's how our friendship grew. And then I met one of my buddy Tony, and he liked the same thing, and we're like, oh, okay, cool, let's all form a group.
Yeah.
Let's go to cons together. Let's go watch movies together. Let's go see TV shows and then talk about it after. And then that's after that. So when I met you guys.
Yes.
So
one of the best days of my life.
So I met you. I met Danny, Mari, Andrew.
That's one of the worst days of my life.
And I met you guys. You guys were like one of the coolest people I've ever talked to. Very humble, very, very cool. And then that branched out with Danica, Karina, and like everyone from We the Geeks. And then you guys just keep me in it because your guys' friendship and commitment to the group, going to cons, makes it fun.
Oh yeah. So I've gotten to a point where like it's not necessarily about the con. Like I'm not looking at the con that I'm going to.
The friends.
I'm going, okay, well, who's going to the con? You kind of look at the lineup of the guests. Like, okay, such and such will be there. That's cool. But which of my friends are going to be there? Who am I going to enjoy it with?
Who haven't I seen in a while?
Exactly. Who am I looking forward to seeing this weekend at this random convention, at this random hotel? It smells bad. It's hot. It's overpriced, but you're there with friends, and it's somehow the best experience ever.
Yeah.
Yeah, I agree. That's what's kept me, with Power Rangers as well, because it's, I could go months without watching the show, but it's like, I can't go months. I can go days without talking to my friends. Like, it's awesome. So I'm going to transition into, a follow-up question with it. Like, so what's your favorite season?
Ooh. Lightspeed
Rescue?
Lightspeed, and then
that's a good one. That's a really good one.
It's a tie between Lightspeed and Time Force.
Okay, those are right back to back. So you could just marathon both seasons and like you're set.
Dude, I had the Chrono Morpher.
Yeah. My parents never bought me the Morphers.
Dude,
it was either the figures, and maybe if I was lucky for my birthday, I would get a Megazord, but not all of them, just one of the Megazords. But I never got the Morphers as a kid, so now as an adult, I overdo it.
I'm not like a Zord collector. I've never have been.
Yeah.
My deal was the Morpher.
Morphers are great.
Make me into a Power Ranger. Let's go.
So with the
Let's
Morphers,
fight crime.
I remember when the movie came out, the Happy Meal toys, they had like the plastic Morpher. And I remember being at a restaurant. It wasn't even a McDonald's. It was a random restaurant. And some kid had it attached to his pocket. And I remember begging my mom to take me to McDonald's because I knew that McDonald's had it because I saw the commercials. And I was like, no, we have food at home. I was like, I don't care about the food. I want the Morpher. And you're not even guaranteed to get it. I'm like, we can try. I'm guaranteed to not get it if we don't go. Let me at least try.
That's very true.
And it was an argument, but we never did it. So as an adult, I had to look for it on eBay. and I still
It's the
have
worst.
it. It's hey, but now I still have it. If I would have got it back then, my mom's the type of person to
Just throw stuff away.
she sends it to Mexico or she sends it to family. She's like,
Oh, see, that's what my mom does too.
yeah.
Like,
So like I
all
remember
all my old stuff, all my old Power Ranger toys, Guatemala.
same except for Mexico. I
Yeah.
remember looking through a photo album of one of my aunts who would go visit family. And I'm looking at it, and there's these kids who I had never met before. Like, oh, I have a shirt just like that. Next page, I have a shirt just like that. To the page, I have a toy just like that, and it clicked. I'm like, now that I think about it, I haven't seen these toys and shirts in a very long time. Let me go pull them out of the closet. Mom, where's my toy? Ask your cousin in Mexico. It's his now. So, So my favorite season of Power Rangers. Geez, Jimmy, we're gonna do a podcast. Learn how to talk. My favorite season.
English is hard.
English is incredibly hard.
Yeah.
So my favorite season of Power Rangers might be in space.
Okay.
It's definitely up there for sure. Because every time someone asks, I kind of like flip flop around, but I find myself always landing back on in space. So in space is probably definitely one of those seasons where I consider one of my favorites. From newer seasons, maybe RPM.
Okay.
But I think if I had to really say, I might say Dino Charge. That's because, it's.
I never got into that. I never got into the whole that newer season topic.
Mm-hmm.
Dude, Dino Charge.
Dino Charge is awesome.
Dude, great.
Dino Charge is one of the best of the newer seasons for sure.
Yeah.
I haven't finished the current season of Beast Morphers, so that might change my opinion. But definitely, Dino Charge is my favorite from the new seasons for sure.
Yeah, I don't think
I had a great cast.
I don't think I finished.
The Go-User suits are sick.
Yes.
I had one of the best theme songs. They didn't shout their names during the opening. Mm-hmm. I thought it was fantastic. So I guess to answer the question, favorite earlier season is in space. Favorite Disney season is RPM. Favorite newer season is Dino Charge.
I agree with 2 out of 3.
So yours would be like Speed Rescue and Time Force.
And then like RPM was fantastic.
Yeah.
And then Dino Charge.
Okay, so
for sure.
So the earlier seasons is what we kind of disagree on, but that makes sense because you and I were fans at a different time. Like you kind of started around in space, but when you got older and you were able to really more appreciate the show, that's when Lightspeed Rescue and Time Force were airing. Both great seasons, fantastic seasons, but I think it's because of when we were born, I think. Because I'm a few years older than you. They're both great seasons. So for those of you who are listening at home, let us know your favorite seasons. Let us know why. We'd love to know. And if you want, let us know what was your first season, because that would usually tell us around when you were born. We don't need to know when, but just say, my first season was Dino Thunder. We know you're on the younger side. Or my first season was Dino Charge, and we know that you're not old enough to type yet. All right. So this is closing out episode 0. So I hope you got to know us a little bit. I hope you learned to like us.
Hopefully.
And the first official episode is actually should already be posted. So as soon as you're done watching this or listening to this, hop on, go to the first episode. We're going to talk about the upcoming movie. And the speculation.
The first movie, too.
The first movie. We may talk about the 2017 movie as well. And then we're also going to talk about the new season of Power Rangers that is rumored to be coming out in the next few years.
Rumored, but not confirmed.
Yeah, we're going to talk about, and then we're also going to talk about which Sentai seasons we would like to see get adapted into Power Rangers.
Yes.
So that's the first episode. So jump over, go watch that. So we're going to close it out by thanking you for listening. You didn't have to spend this amount of time with us, but we're glad that you did. We hope you had a good time. We want to give a special thanks to our producer, Zorjan. Zorjan, this is his command center. This is Pingcroft Loft. If you're interested in the LA area in renting out a studio space for your podcast or your audio project, go to pingcroftloft.com. That's www.pingcroftloft.com. That's a little rap for you because it's on the radio. So check them out. hit him up. See if his studio could fill your needs, because they definitely filled ours. A huge kind of thanks to our outrageously awesome podcaster friends, those who encouraged us to finally get off our butts and hit the record button and just do it. That includes Jason, Alex, and even Cole from Quest of Geek, Justin Malari from Geek Offensive, Justin Keyson and Andrew from Nothing New, Earl Balon, Berto Ponce. Am I missing someone? I think I am. Who am I missing?
Me.
You.
Because we had this conversation.
Yes.
We needed to start this podcast.
No, but I'm talking about my podcaster friends who were like, do it. Nate, Nathan Schultz, super sweet guy. Just all of these friends who helped kind of just, give me advice. They gave me advice. They gave me the resources, and they just provided me with awesome friendship. That definitely is one of the reasons why I decided to, finally pull the trigger. A little bit late, but I pulled it. So huge thanks to them.
Better late than never.
And then huge thanks to We the Geeks of East L.A.
Yes.
Huge thanks to Morphin Network. They're good friends of ours. Just special thanks to everyone in the community who's been, supportive of us. So if you've ever,
Thank you to Power Morphicon.
Thank you to Power Morphicon for being as supportive as they are as well.
Yeah.
No Pink Spandex. Shout out to them. Super dope people. They've been supportive as well. So, if I missed your name, I apologize. It's late in the day, and I had a long work day. I'll get you in the next one. I promise. Do you have any special thanks?
No, I just thank everyone for listening.
Yes, of course. Thank you to the listeners and viewers like you. For giving us a platform. So with that being said, my name is Jimmy. If you want to find me, go to Jimmy is a Geek on YouTube, youtube.com/JimmyIsAGeek, or just GL Jimmy on pretty much all social media platforms.
And I'm Steven. You can find me on Instagram at Solava Photos. That is SOLAVA Photos. Yeah.
PHOTOS.
Yeah.
We know how to spell, guys, even though English is hard. All right, guys. Thank you so much. We hope to see you in the next episode. And until then, may the power protect you.
Yeah.